Honorable Chief Justice Panganiban, Mrs. Lenny Panganiban, Mr. Rod, Associate Justice Sandoval Gutierrez, Dr. Roberto Campo, Ms. Miriam, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today, the 21st Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, the Honorable Artemio V. Panganiban. While the Chief Justice is simply art to some of us at the Asian Institute of Management, who have been longtime colleagues of his wife Lenny, the notable achievements of our distinguished speaker defies simplification. Chief Justice Panganiban is a multifaceted personality who has extended his excellence beyond the field of jurisprudence and reaped multiple commendations even in the fields of business and as a civic leader. His record of awards and citations is very long, and it includes honorary degrees and memberships such as the Kappa Phi International Honor Society and the Consular Corps of the Philippines. He was also the only Filipino appointed by the late Pope John Paul II to the Pontifical Council of the Laity. He was also formerly Vice President of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Governor of the Management Association of the Philippines, President of the Rotary Club of Manila, and President of the Philippine Daily Inquirer, to name just a few of the positions he has held. Chief Justice Panganiban finished his Bachelor of Laws degree cum laude at the Far Eastern University, and he placed sixth in the bar examinations in 1960. He then moved on to the practice of his profession and also practiced law as a teacher. He is widely acknowledged for his preeminence in discussing wide-ranging legal controversies that touch on diverse subjects. A member of the Supreme Court since 1995, with his appointment as the presiding justice, he now concurrently serves as the chairperson of the Presidential Electoral Tribunal and of the Judicial and Bar Council. Chief Justice Panganiban is also described as, and I quote, undoubtedly the most prolific writer of the court. In the past decade, he has written more than 1,100 full-length decisions, as well as authored 10 books. Colleagues speak highly of his remarkable productivity and his judicial workmanship. For example, Justice Romero Calero once remarked, I quote, "One book a year and no cases left undecided. This is the Chief Justice's unsurpassed record." Justice Sandoval Gutierrez herself also lauded his preeminent judicial craftsmanship, social philosophies, and literary style. A Renaissance man, nobly so, and a gifted jurist. Of his mental dexterity, the former Chief Justice Hilario Davides had this to say: "The incumbent Chief Justice extricates the possible from the hypothetical, the emerging from the established, the literature in science, and the law in art." However, I think there is nothing more telling of the breadth of this man's intellect and the depth of his soul than his very own thoughts on the melding of liberty and prosperity that he shared recently at a meeting of the business community. And I quote, "How we cope with the stark realities of poverty, the antithesis of prosperity, has become the litmus test for the mandate of the courts, to weigh the scales of justice in favor of the downtrodden and the neglected. Amid the paradigm shift in the role of the courts in economic development, our welcome moves to redefine poverty as a deprivation of essential assets and the opportunities to which every human is entitled. Under this new definition, the right to prosperity is elevated to the level of a universal human right. Hence, it definitely needs attention, cultivation, and protection by the courts and by everyone." Ladies and gentlemen, to hear about the Chief Justice is one thing, to read his books is another, but to experience him in person is indeed a privilege. So please join me in welcoming, with a round of applause, our Chief Speaker, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Republic of the Philippines, the Honorable Artemio to speak on the judicial perspective of the role of civil society in advancing economic development.